How is everybody today? It's Podcast Thursday. It's the 23rd, I believe, of November, and it's Thanksgiving Day. Hope that you all have had a most delightful day of giving thanks and sharing your gratitude with people. It's such a special gift we have. Thanksgiving is my most favorite holiday. When I was growing up, we had family reunions out in West Texas. There would be times that we would be at home when my grandmother was alive, and we had picnic table with picnic benches. They were like 12 foot long or something like that, it seemed like. And that was brought to the kitchen. And there was so much love and so much giving, and the family cooked, and it wasn't the kids that cooked. It was the adults. And I was always the child, and I really didn't have a lot of responsibility of bringing food and things like that. Even when I was in my 30s, I was still the child. My mother, she was the neatest lady. And my birth mother gave me to Mother and Daddy. She picked them out of 4 couples through the Catholic Church in Anchorage. And my parents spoiled me. My mother was one of the funniest people I have ever known. She was a lady. And today is more about a lot of things. But I'm going to talk about my mom for a minute, because she would say, "Fran, if you can't say something good, don't say it at all." And those of you that grew up in my generation and probably the following generations, y'all heard that too. And maybe you still practice it. Maybe you shared it with your children. But the older I get, and I lost Mother 36 years ago when I was 35. And the older I get, and especially now, since I'm finally beginning to, some of the garbage has cleared, and I'm finally beginning to see and feel like I've got some sea legs, that I'm standing up and I feel good. Don't get me wrong, I still have my days that I go through stuff. And my feeling is, as my heart begins to heal, that's going to become more and more. And gratitude is where we start our healing. Because there's times that we hurt so bad that we can't see past the hurt. So when I coach people, I tell them, okay, when they get stuck and they can't get out of this bucket of junk, they're stuck in the muck and the mud puddle. There's more mud than there is water. And they're so down on themselves and they can't see. I tell them, make a list of 10 things you've done. And when we're healing, we actually have to be accountable. We have to blow our horn. Make a list of 10 things that you've done, and whenever you hit that spot where you just can't see that you are this fabulous person, you may have walked through the mud, but that mud helped strengthen those muscles, and it helped you get exactly where you are now. Read that list of 10 and make it stuff, okay? Don't blow smoke. Don't get it up there and wonder, oh, this will work. No. Get down in the bowels of your guts and come up with this stuff that only you did. You know, I went to school later in life. The day I turned 32, my parents moved me into a dorm in a small town in Arkansas. I had a blast as an undergrad. And I graduated 20 years after I graduated high school with my first degree. 11 years later, I graduated with my second degree. Things like that are the kind of things that I'm talking about. That was personal. My student loans will tell you how personal that was. But here's the thing about it. Giving gratitude, manifesting and miracles start with gratitude. Giving thanks to your creator or your divine, your source, whatever you call your higher power. Giving thanks to that higher power is something that is huge, because that's kind of where we start. You know, I'm sober 36 years. And there's some days that still, most of the time it's pretty easy, but that one day when the rug gets pulled out from under me, I get my list. And I go to my higher power, and some days that one little piece, it's holding on for dear life. I am not naive enough to believe that things don't happen. But on this, when you give gratitude, the other part of healing is trust. And both those things are intangibles. It's not like you're going to go buy a pencil and a pad of paper and start writing. Those things are belief-based, they're intangibles, and when we don't see an immediate result, and everybody has done this, you lose it. So, when I moved up here to the DFW area, I thought I was going to step through this in a way that I would be safe. And I've had the rug pulled out from under me in a way that I would never have imagined. And anytime we get a lesson, it's to take us to the next step. And we have to trust that we're not doing this alone. We have to trust that we're going to make it through it. And as this day is Thanksgiving, I was alone last year. I'm alone this year. And you know what? I'm really good with that, because I've had to know that God's got my back and I've got my sea legs. I'm getting ready to make a different step in life, and once again, some of the same people that stepped up for me in 2022 are stepping up now, and there are some new people. There are some new people that have joined my circle that let me know every day that I keep the faith and that I trust, and the outcome is going to be really good. As we go through the holiday season, what do you give gratitude for every day? One of the practices that has helped me, even one of the practices that's really helped me in these last 16, 18 months, before I plant my feet on the floor, I say, I'm grateful for 3 things. And 2 of them are very simple. You know, I'm grateful I slept last night. I've started dreaming again. And some of them are weird, and some of them are funny, and some of them are luscious with life. But I didn't dream for a long time. We all dream every night, but I didn't remember anything, and I was just so tired. My dreams let me know when I'm dreaming that I'm getting some rest, because I'm getting into that REM sleep. The last thing that I do, or maybe it's the first thing, it's one of the 3. I think of something that I'm grateful for, that it's a little bit more complex. And I used to worry sometimes it was the same thing, and I used to say, God, I'm drawing a blank here, but I know that I'm grateful for this. And y'all may have seen that little thing on Facebook that says, I might not have the words, but God, you know what's in my heart. And I know that God knows what's in my heart. Gratitude lets you practice self-love. You know, God wouldn't want you, and I hope, you know, this is my belief system, and this is where I come from. God's had my back ever since before I was born. But you know, when I quit drinking, when I dealt with some things that I'll get into later on down the road with that has to do with unpleasant things in life that happen to us. How do we deal with it? But God's got my back. I'm grateful He's got my back. And because I'm grateful, I'm moving stuff out of my heart that there's no room for, and it doesn't serve me. It's that possible negativity that absolutely tears me down. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You know when your mind goes to the stuff that doesn't support you. Why do you do that to yourself? You're the one that's in control of that. And generally, that's that little evil person sitting on the other side of things, tearing you down to keep you from ascending and excelling. Here is the gift you are. So, I'm giving gratitude. I'm making space to bigger my heart, because I can't have gunky stuff in my heart to take up space when I'm giving gratitude and I'm giving thanks. When I'm giving thanks to God, and what that does, it increases the love. The love increases the healing, and pretty soon there are things that are getting wiped out because they're just not rooming, and they really don't amount to a hill of beans for me, because I don't live in the past, but I do relish the lessons. And I relish the wisdom. And I'm so grateful that I can give myself enough grace, because if I ever make the same action, I know that I can start the gratitude over, and the self-love begins again, to where I can heal and get more entrenched into my healthy, happy life. You all, I hope that this has given you something about today to help you increase the value that you bring to yourself. You know, we couldn't do it without each other. Hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving Day. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.